Lights, camera, action. Hey there, my name is Deeksha Janiani and I'm representing Trendline. And this week we are going to talk about the merger of PVR and Inox Leisure. These are the two largest multiplex chains in India. In fact, they have been competing against each other before the pandemic struck us in 2020. And so it's quite a deal for you there. Another interesting thing is that PVR was earlier considering merging with Cinepolis. Clearly, that deal did not work out. Instead, Inox will be merging into PVR. We will also take a look at how the film's exhibition space will look like once these entities marry each other. So the combined entity, which is PVR Inox, will occupy 16% market share in India in the terms of total number of screens, which were 9,423 at the end of 2021. And this market share is not going to stay static, folks. In fact, this market share is only going to grow in the next 5 to 7 years because these companies are planning to add between 1,000 to 1,500 screens across India. So, of course, it will have a formidable presence in the Indian map. Another thing worth noting here is that consolidation is not exactly a new thing for this industry. Because, for example, PVR had earlier acquired Cinemax in 2012, DT Cinemas in 2016, and SPI Cinemas in 2018. But that those mergers were primarily to expand its presence on a regional basis. This merger is being done so that they can strengthen their position in the wake of the pandemic, because see, the pandemic hit this industry the hardest. It almost wiped out more than 90% of the revenues of PVR and Inox. So that's the foremost reason for you for this merger. Another thing that we are going to explore is how does the market share of these companies look like on a regional basis. So, see, PVR and Inox have a very strong position if you see the markets of North and West, but they have a considerable scope to grow in the eastern and the southern region of India. The southern market is also very large, and more so, the single screen theaters contribute to more than 60% of the revenues of this region. Another thing that management said in its recent call is that they are also looking to tap the tier 2 and tier 3 cities of India. So you are going to see a formidable entity out there in few years to come. Now we will address the elephant in this room. Yes, my dear folks, the approval of Competition Commission of India. If you would be in normal times, certainly this deal would not have gone through. Only they would need to apply to the Competition Commission. But now that their revenues are less than 1,000 crores for FY21, they are exempted under the Competition Act 2002. Having said that, the Competition Commission can still send them queries, so that they will have to address before they go through with this merger. Another thing that we should note here is that Ajay Bijli will continue to be the managing director of the combined entity, even though the promoters of PVR are holding way less stake than the promoters of Inox. But this is the case. Other important thing to note here is the share exchange terms of this deal. So every 10 shares of Inox will be exchanged for 3 shares of PVR. This exchange term basically values Inox at a 16% premium to its closing price on March 25, 2022. Now you will ask me the question, why so much premium? This is because Inox has a way more stronger balance sheet than PVR. It's net debt free. It had a net cash of 91 crores on its balance sheet, whereas PVR had a net debt, like that's after subtracting your cash. It had a net debt of more than 850 crores in the end of December. So that's the answer to the premium. Other thing is that you will ask me, what do PVR and Inox actually gain out of this merger? So they can have synergies on the revenue front and the cost front. So we'll explore those areas now. See, firstly, the spends per head level of Inox is way less than that of PVR. And if we assume that post the merger, Inox will match up to those levels, we can get revenue synergies of more than 200 crores on this front. Other thing is that even the ticket prices that Inox charges are lesser than that of PVR. So, if say post the merger, Inox starts charging the same level of pricing, it can gain 86 crores revenue additionally on this front as well. Other important thing is that the advertising rate per screen that Inox charges is 38% lower than PVR. If they are able to get the same advertising rate, which they will because it will be a combined entity, then they can also generate an additional revenue of 100 and more than 140 crores. So all in all, you have revenue synergies of more than 400 crores once these entities combine in FY24. And it's not just revenues, folks, it's the cost front also. See, of course, when you are such a big entity which has more than 1500 screens in India, you will be able to negotiate better with your food and beverage vendors, with your ticketing platforms, with the mall owners. The most important thing here being the negotiation with the mall owners. See, because the rental expense is more than 20% of the revenues of these companies. I'm talking about FY20, folks. So that is a major figure. So basically, what will happen is once you have that big an entity, they will be able to get discount on the rental rate and have much better deals with the mall owners. See, theaters contribute to 30 to 40% of the footfalls of malls. So of course they will get better terms from the owners also. See, now uh, these were the gains that Inox and PVR can gain out of this deal. See, other important thing is where is the sector as a whole heading to in the next 2 years? See, the sector was hit hard by the pandemic, and the film entertainment segment will only recover at the end of 2023. I think it's time for the for SID to wake up now. So, however, when it does recover, OTT will have a formidable share in this market. That's going to grow like 3x. And if you see, the theater portion is going to be in a status quo. But having said that, we are seeing sustained recoveries from this level. Other important thing is that ever since if you see the movie releases from February end, they have done quite well. In fact, RRR is going to rake in 500 crores of revenue. Can you beat that? So we are heading towards good time for the industry as a whole. In fact, the footfalls had revived from Q3 FY22 itself, although they are like half of the pre-COVID levels, but they are certainly up and raring to go. And we can expect better results in the Q4 and Q1 FY23. Other thing is that because of such a response of the films, even analysts are expecting the revenues of PVR and Inox to jump like 4x in FY23. Don't be shocked like Saif Ali Khan, folks. It's because of the low base of FY21 and FY22. But it's certainly going to beat the levels of FY20. Other thing is that once these companies do merge, they're going to clock revenues of 8,300 crores, which is 35% higher than the level of FY23. So basically, it's sunny times ahead for this sector. Other thing is, those of you who tell me that OTT is a big challenge to theaters, see, there is a threat for sure, but the experience of movie viewing is here to stay. Only thing is that the filmmakers have to work hard to create such compelling dramas that pulls the audiences back to the theaters. And my sentiments are very well echoed by Siddharth Roy Kapoor here. So 70 experience is here to stay. And now these are the few interesting releases that we have for 2022. I'm going to watch each one of them. I hope you do too. But basically, the time has started turning for the multiplex space. And we might see some good performance by Inox and PVR, not just in 2023 and even 2020 FY24 once they combine with each other. So that's it from my side, folks. Have a great day. Thank you.